Jumping into our passive income chart now, this has got two really key lines on it. Well, two really key identifying price points, and then one really awesome key line as well. I also identifying, when we're interest only, and when we roll over to principal and interest, how much of our passive income is going to be reduced because of that. So we've got our green line here, which is our actual passive income based on our portfolio, how that increases and decreases over time. We've also got our golden line here, which is our retirement passive income. So this is going to indicate when we potentially can consider retiring and how much our income would be at that point in time. And it's really good to have these two distinctions, right? Because our actual passive income is completely different if we had no actual income. So if we've still got our actual income coming in, we're going to be putting that additional savings from that income into the offset account, which is going to be reducing debt, rather than if we decided to retire at that point in time. We're still able to live and we've still got income coming in, but it's going to take a much longer period to pay off that debt completely because we don't have the extra income coming in from our actual job. So really good distinction of those two lines, and I'll show you how that works in a second. And then the third line is this dotted passive income target here. And that's, the passive income amount that you've specified in your fact finder to really identify how much we need in the portfolio to potentially hit that passive income long term. So we start off in negative passive income. Obviously, everyone's portfolio is going to be different under their circumstances, but in this portfolio in particular, we're at negative 21 there. Then that starts to increase over the years as the rent starts to scale up and everything else. At that point, we're still interest only. At this point, we're really figuring out that we're interest only, and we need to continue to be at interest only. Really good thing to note as we're building out our portfolio. Then once we get into that passive income territory, we're looking at 15,000 worth of passive income around that 2028 mark. And then that drops pretty significantly when we roll over to principal and interest, right? So having a big impact there of nearly 50 grand on the passive income side of things. So really good to note that, at that point in time in 2029, we're probably going to have a bit of a drop of income, and we need to make sure that we're in a position to be able to do that. Again, we can play around with the manually entered user charts and say, well, we don't actually want to switch over to P&I then. We might want to hold on an interest only until 2031 and then see how that looks. So but really good just to paint a picture about how much we may need in that year, just to be careful about principal and interest rolling over. But then again, over time, that does actually increase to an actual passive income. And this is now actual passive income based on the rents and the P&I repayments. And we're looking here, to potentially retire in 2044 for this particular client. And then we've got those two line breakups, right? So you can see here that passive income, if we continue to work, is increasing quite dramatically than this side, because we're actually paying down debt faster. We ended up paying down that debt completely, and it kind of levels off there in terms of passive income. So that's just the rent scaling into the future. And then this retirement side of things, you can kind of see here, well, we don't actually pay down debt as quickly as we do for the other one, but we pay it down by 2049, and then we're on the same trajectory as if we had our income. So, there's a period of 5 years there where we can decide, well, if I retire today, I can still pay off my debt just on the passive income. Although if I was to work for another 2 or 3 years, I can pay that debt off completely and retire quite comfortably. So really good to just identify how that breakup of passive income, if we were to leave our jobs today, versus our passive income if we were to retire today. And then what does that interest only and principal and interest rollover look like in terms of our actual cash flow?